What's going on, guys? Pegasus and the Wise Guys. Appreciate you guys for tuning in this profile. Birds are chirping. That's all I'm gonna say. But
Keeper Greg.
What the hell did you play?
I played Floowandereeze, and birds are chirping. That's all I can say. This deck is absolutely like the stones. And I'm gonna start off with the tributes and then go from there. I played 2 Penguin, 1 Ryza, and 1 Apex Avian, and I did not know how ignorant Mega Ryza was until I played him today. It is one of the silliest cards in the history of Yu-Gi-Oh! When it lands on you perfectly. I yada locked like 3 or 4 people with it, where like I was tributing over Eaglin or I tribute over Impin one time. And when it sticks people, the game is like they get caught in vortexes they're not getting out of. So personally, I kind of want to play 2 of this, because if you catch them in that loop, they're never going to get out of it. A couple times, like I looped Shifter once, and I looped at Ash Blossom one time, 3 times against somebody, which was hilarious.
Looping Shifter.
Looping Shifter is absolutely ignorant. But Impin is the boss monster, and all will bow before Emperor Penguin.
All hail Lord Impin.
And then Apex Avian is just the Omni Negate that you need to have sometimes, but he's not. You could play Snow Owl or this one. I personally like this one just because of the Omni Negate. And then getting into the babies, Rabina is the wheels to everything. Can't say enough about it. It's a really powerful card. Eaglin is the one that searches for the level 7 or higher. All these over here searches all of them, just to help you kind of understand that. I'm pretty sure everybody's got that. My ratios are weird because I'm trying to figure out how minimal that the other 2 can be, because Toucan isn't that good, but it's perfect at times. Like, it's not that good, but it's actually perfect because it keeps you and it allows you to add cards indirectly and indiscriminately, which is, it's just really cool. And then Stree allows you to play, it allows you to like duality into a shifter, normal summon it, banish the duality out of the graveyard, pitch shifter. Like that happened. That happened in game 2 against somebody. I don't remember. It was too many matches. It was some kind of, I don't remember.
Speaking of the matches,
right?
All them people.
He was 41.
He also tied for first place.
Yeah, it was like I didn't even, whatever, man. It was a lot of people today. It felt like a little baby regional or something. Shout out to everybody in Kansas City. It was good to see everybody. Dimension Shifter is, I don't like the card like that, but it's so powerful. You're an idiot if you don't play it. That's how good the card is. I'm playing another package that makes it weird, which you'll see in a split second. But then I found out there's a way that you can kind of slide around some of the restrictions, and it's just stupid. But Shifter, just skipping folks' turn. If the deck is better than Flunder, potentially, and this lands on them, it's not better than Floowandereeze, and it's my turn. That's literally what Shifter is. It's basically ensuring you're gonna win a dice roll.
It's basically saying they win the dice roll, and they're like effect. You're like, gotcha, bitch.
So I went like this. Look at me. I am the king. No, I'm joking.
I can't get jiggy with this shit.
I was going Captain Phillips on him. Double Ash Blossom. Cross out target. One of the ones that you cannot really deal with is Ash Blossom. However, I didn't main the cross out, so I'm like, that's just plain weird. But it is what it is. Ash Blossom is still Ash Blossom at the end of the day. But then getting into the rest of the last 2 of the monsters, I played Barrier Statue, because duh.
Ew.
And then, I know, people, go get your Wind Kaijus, folks. That's all I can say. Go get your Wind Kaiju. And the home girl, Ecclesia. Now you're like, what the hell is she doing here? All will bow before Emperor Penguin. And if you've never read Emperor Penguin, all of them say normal summon another wing beast. Emperor Penguin says normal, a card. Therefore, if you feel like you can't get into this one, technically you can, just in case you didn't know that, because you just normal after this. And adding a punishment to that, you obviously can't add the special summon and stuff, the floor and all that. That's why you can't play that, because it's a normal summon deck and you're restricted. But it's really, really powerful, and all will bow before Emperor Penguin. I just wanted to say that. Make sure that everybody can understand that. moving into the spells, I played triple Pot of Prosperity because it's Pot of Prosperity. However, I was watching a video with Tom Box the other day, and he made a lot of sense where if you're playing against a lot of good players, I would not play Prosperity. Because, you know, like if I'm playing you, Tim, I do not want you to know what's coming. I want you to get cracked by blind cards because you're not going to know what to hit with hand traps, and it just gets murky for you. So this card is powerful as hell, but in a bigger tournament against really, really, really good players and everybody's elite, you got to play extravagance almost. And I really understand that, which is a good point I feel I had to say. Triple duality, you don't special, so consistency is key in some of these decks. Map and Riser were the silliest cards in this deck.
Dora.
Oh, good.
Dora the Explorer. There we go.
I'm hella gonna video edit that in too. But this card loses to Ogre, which is in your deck, and I really liked it. I got cracked by my friend Brandon by that.
Joey Wheeler?
Yeah, Joey Wheeler, that guy right there.
That guy right there.
Are you
Ogre and people.
But with this card, it literally says during your main. But anyways, with this card specifically, obviously you get an additional like normal summon. So like a lot of people forget and they start hand trapping you, and you're like, oh okay, actual normal summon, and then they're like, wait, and then it's too late. So eventually, when everybody gets more familiar with the deck, maybe this card won't be quite as powerful, but it's powerful as hell. I'll just say that. Triple Nadir Servant is ridiculous. Like just like you said in your profile, the card's gonna get hit. It's one of the most obvious. This card is gonna get hit. It's the way I feel when I activate Drytron Nova. It's gonna get hit at some point, whether you like it or not. It's gonna get cracked. Book of Demondes, the Book of Zimun. They're not ultis. They're not supers. They're ultras. But this card is nuts, and it helps you dodge Valor and Imperm, and some other cards too. But I still feel like this card is just generically, right now, it's better than Cross. I don't think Cross Out's that good. Like, I didn't main it, and I didn't miss it at all. I sided it, and I was like, I don't even want to side it in like that. This is the first preliminary day. Maybe I'll feel different on another day, but it is what it is with that. Floowandereeze and the Unperformed. This is the most powerful card in the deck, actually. That and Ryza, obviously. But this is the most powerful card in the deck, actually, because it doesn't care, for the time being, about anything. It doesn't care about floodgates, specific floodgates that can devastate, it just doesn't care. And I believe the way it's ruled right now, it can get around restricting Zombie World. And until I hear otherwise, I may be wrong. You just leave it down in the comments if you heard something different and leave me proof, because, I've heard only other stuff. And then Caught by the Grave for the last of the spells. These are all the one-ofs. It's Caught by the Grave, Terraforming, and Gold Sark. Gold Sark, combo piece. It helps you chain block, helps you get something that you might not have. And it's basically like putting a card into your hand, really. Terraforming is Terraforming, Caught by the Grave is Caught by the Grave. You have to play elite cards like those. And then with the traps, I played double Imperm. I'm siding the Cross Out, but Imperm is nuts right now anyway, and I don't think I would change anything about it. And it helps you not get smacked in the face by tactical talents. So it is what it is with that. Double Punishment, because you're playing Ecclesia, and it's like you can reverse. You play two because you can reverse go into Ecclesia by activating this if you only draw this, and then pitching Titaniclad to then go in the reverse way to get back to it. And then this card is Escalation of the Monarchs, but like on crack, and then with a little bit of Book of Eclipse like slipped in there somewhere. They printed a lot with this card. It's just Escalation of the Monarchs for your opponent, and you just start. You make your opponent's turn your turn. And then it's Book of Eclipse when you tribute summon a level 7. And it's going to be in the graveyard once you activate this, and then it goes to the grave. You're going to tribute, and it's going to be there, and you're going to devastate your opponent. As far as the extra deck, I really grabbed a bunch of cards as fast as possible that would impact anything, but I do feel like I want to play Rail Cannon and Juggernaut Lead, and then probably like Zeus and like the Assembled Nightingale or something like that. But as far as this, You don't need 3 Add Ignister. I would literally was just grabbing cards. But Add Ignister, I usually send this initially just to make my opponent have to deal with something else and not be able to kill me while they deal with the silly ass boards that I was putting up. So that's why I feel like Nadir Servant is just absolutely ridiculous and gonna get hit at some point. Triple Intis, obvious reasons, because you're sending stuff from your extra deck all the time. Farrajet to fix your hands, because obviously if you've ever seen Tri Brigade play, you know exactly what I'm talking about. This card, in the mid game, in the slightly later than early game, in the late game, this card helps you search a Wing Beast when it hits the grave. So that's why you play that. You know, just in case you draw everything late, it can help you to actually play. Titaniclad, again, I said that in reverse. Omega, the combo with Omega, the reason why, and you're probably like, that's a conflict with Shifter in this. Yes, it is a conflict, absolutely. But if you're Nadir Servant and then you send Omega, and you open these two, you can Nadir Servant, send Omega, do whatever you need to do, grab all your Dogmatica stuff, and then go Omega, and then pitch this, and then it's like it didn't even matter. Now, obviously, if you draw them in the reverse order, it's just a conflict, but I feel like if I have to hold this for a turn, and you're under this, that doesn't matter anyway. So it is what it is with that. So it's like, if I have to hold this, I'm not tripping. Shout out to Dan Gallagher. He's the person that I was talking to about that. And then Relinquished Anima, just because I couldn't find a card. But I could see it come up. I could also see Geonator come up, the Transverser, just because giving them a little weenie bird and you take some big-ass boss monster is absolutely nuts. Side deck, crossouts. This card's not like that. Like, I don't know if it's just me. Maybe it's just my interaction with the card, but like, yeah, you know. I don't even really know what to say about the card, but the card is good. It's just like, man. Triple Cyclone. I don't want to discard anything. That's why I'm not playing Twin Twister. Evenlies, yeah. Dark Rulers. Evenly is nuts. Don't get me wrong. You actually have to have this now because Sky Prison is a card, and Lightning Storm and Feather Duster are falling off. Shout out to Spiritualism, though. Shout out to Spiritualism. Dark Ruler no more, because duh, right? You don't want to play Droplet because you don't want to lose your resources, and you're not going to get them back if they're in the grave. You want them to be banished anyway. And then, you know, most of the time you're banishing a whole lot of stuff anyway. These are weird, but for the crossout, you can lose to Droll if you don't open the Shifter, so it's like maybe something you want to look into. I might want to look into Lancia as well as a crossout target, you know, just to catch my opponent slipping. These last 3 is me trying to figure out what my last 3 cards are. This could be Smorg and double anti-spell, and then it's like you're playing ninjas all over again where you lock your opponent out of playing. This could also be triple Featherstorm. This could also be triple Appointer. But I feel like I want to try out this card because in Smorgasbord, you guys already got that. It blows out some of those back row decks. This is nuts because if you activate a pointer and I'm playing a control deck, you're gonna put in cards to deal with my board. And if you have to chain it, like if you're playing Forbidden Droplets and you have to chain it, and all your cards are gone, you know, like you're like activate Droplet, pitch 2 cards, I'm gonna snatch the starter out of your hand. If you don't chain the Droplet, I'm gonna snatch the Droplet out of your hand. If you say Battle Fade, I'm gonna take the Evenly out of your hand. So it's like this card is like strong each and every time that I saw it. I only saw it twice today, but it was strong each and every time I saw it. But Featherstorm is really, really powerful too. Anti-Spell is really powerful too, but I just feel like Evenly was what made me pick this card. And with that, I'm done.